And welcome to Ship Philly First and part two of our behind the scenes look here at the Philadelphia Wholesale Produce Market. We're in South Philadelphia. In our first segment, which you can watch at PhilaPort.com, we learned how the market and the port both work together to get us the fruits and vegetables we eat every day. But how do they get here from South America so quickly? And have you noticed that many of those fruits and veggies seem, well, bigger and juicier than ever before? We now continue our conversation with Tom Kovacevich of TMK Produce and Larry Antonucci with 721 Logistics and J&K Fresh. So let's talk a little bit about, Larry, process here. It's the winter and I'm eating grapes. They're not coming from my neighbor's farm. Can you talk a little bit about the logistics of how things go from A to B?
And that's really where the complement of the Southern Hemisphere production, when we're not producing, they are. So that's why you see all that fruit coming here.
Which means it would be busier here in the winter than in the summer?
Sure, and that's where our peak season comes in. Even though now it's more of a year-long process, but peak season traditionally used to be around, say, December through April of every year. Now it stretches really, there's programs throughout the year, so fruit is always coming into the port. And it truly takes a village, I like to say, when it comes to cold chain logistics and getting that product from origin to final destination. But in terms of the port and what the port does and how it gets here, it starts with the farmers at origin. They get it shipped to the origin warehouse. That warehouse gets it on a vessel, whether it's a bulk vessel or a container vessel that gets here to our terminal, our ports here. So you have the terminal operator, now he touches it, he offloads it, that's where we get involved. Our role as an import facilitator, we deal with the government agencies that get involved, usually that's CBP Ag, which is Customs and Border Protection Agriculture, you have USDA, you have Food and Drug.
What are their roles? Why are they involved?
Their roles are for regulatory compliance, make sure that there are no invasive species, getting a free ride here and then hopping off and doing damage to our crops and our products here in the United States. And we help with that process. We're the ultimate middleman. And so we're moving information, we're facilitating collaboration and communication to make sure that that fruit doesn't stop moving. Because when you're talking about fruit, you're talking about extremely high value, time sensitive, complex product. If it's damaged in any way, the quality is impacted, it might not even make it to the shelves. So again, terminal operators touch it, we get involved, government agencies get involved. So once it clears that process, then you have the local draymen come on. So those service providers have to touch the fruit. And they take it to the cold storage facilities, who then pick it, pack it, maybe label it, it depends. And then again, another dray company comes along and takes it on to a final destination. So it really truly does take a village to get that product from origin to final destination.
Tom, are some fruits and veggies more important as far as business goes than others?
Grapes is a big one. Citrus is very big. We do a lot of avocados, blueberries, mangoes. It's apples, pears. There's a long list.
Have consumer tastes changed over the years, and how does that impact what you guys do?
The changes that are coming are varietal driven. So what we're seeing is better and better varieties every year. Better varieties of everything. And you probably have noticed it when you're shopping. You see the grapes in the store look bigger and they're sweeter and they're crunchier, and it's the same with all the fruits really.
Well, let's talk about the future here. 700,000 plus square feet, a huge facility, infrastructure in place with rail and trucks. How are we looking for growth?
Anything in terms of increased volumes as they come up the river, we're prepared for it. The state of Pennsylvania has already put in slightly over $500 million worth of infrastructure investment into the port, $256 million just in this past February. Not to mention the private investment that goes into it. So when you look in terms of what PhilaPort is capable of, we have the infrastructure. Most of that infrastructure improvement has gone into capacity, technology, productivity. The way I look at it, we're only enhancing what we already have. So nobody can do it here better than we can.
Let's lastly talk about the charitable element here. Fruits and vegetables, again, are perishables. What happens to the excess?
So there's dozens of organizations that come to the market and pick up. You know, when there's a crisis, we've had loads of stuff going to, hurricanes or floods. But the one particular organization I can name a volume, because I just heard it yesterday, is Sharing Excess. They've sorted through 7 million pounds of produce this year alone.
Wow, that otherwise would have, just gone to waste?
Yeah.
PhilaBundance as well, correct?
Yeah, PhilaBundance as well. Yeah.
I guess helping others is part of the mission as well. Tom and Larry, thanks so much for taking the time for
All
us
right, thank
today.
you for having us.
And thank you for joining us as well. For more information on the Port of Philadelphia, just go to PhilaPort.com, and we'll see you again soon for another edition of Ship Philly First.